Johan, this is so great to have you here. You know, on behalf of the sessions, we have been putting these different educational interviews together for this next generation to kind of hear how musicians like yourself have developed your career, have continued to be on the cutting edge. Here you're in Vegas with Britney Spears. This is huge. From Sweden, this is some story. Tell me how it began. Where did music enter your life?
I'm from Sweden, born in Sweden, and I was a farmer boy. We didn't have much music around. But in 5th grade, they started a program in Sweden. It was called Community Music.
In the school system?
The school system. It was the first time. And I applied. We had to play recorders for the first year. Second year, I got a teacher. Well, it was a clarinet teacher. Teaching me how to play marches on drums. We didn't have drums either. We were playing on plastic chairs, actually. That's how my career started.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you began, so think of this, from the farms in Sweden to this career that you have now where you're touring the world with Britney. It's pretty amazing. So where'd you go from there? Did you take any more lessons? Did you start listening to different bands? Did you play with musicians?
Yeah, I started, the whole way at 18, I started to teach at the music community school, clarinet and drums. I started to play clarinet because my sister and I wanted to help her. To make a long story short, I met a guy in Hamburg, for some reason, Ola Bengtsson. He went to Berklee. And I always had this thing that I wanted to go to America. It was my big dream. I wanted to play the drums, and I wanted to go to America. So he said, I went to Berklee, College of Music in Boston. It's fantastic. You should go. So I applied. My English was very poor. I filled out the application, rejected.
Interesting.
Second time, I'm like, okay, I have nothing to lose. Ear training, very good. Harmony, very good. I recorded my drum teacher, Peter Feldskog. He's a very good drummer from Malmö.
Yes.
I recorded him. He still doesn't know that. I recorded him play a Latin group, sent that to Berklee. Got accepted. Now here comes the next problem. They do auditions when you get there. They check you out.
Absolutely.
I was just lucky my visa got delayed because DHL couldn't find our farm. It was so far out. So it took 2 weeks before I got the visa. So I got to Berklee 2 weeks too late. The guy doing the audition was Bob Tomagni. Oh, great guy, great drummer.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
So he sat me down and said, okay, I have your applications here. Tried me. He said, your reading is good, okay. And you sent me a tape here. Can you please play that Latin group? And I'm like, okay, here we go. So I played it without my feet. Couldn't. And he's like, what happened to your feet? And I'm like, he said, that's not you on that tape, right? And I'm like, but he saw in my eyes. So he's like, you know what, you're accepted.
So he must have seen something in you.
I could have done anything.
How amazing. Would you consider Bob to be like a mentor to you? Was he?
He gave me that chance.
Yeah.
I will be forever thankful. No, Ed Uribe was my big...
Ed Uribe.
He changed my life.
Beautiful guy, God rest his soul.
He changed my... Yeah, it really was hard when I heard about his passing because that guy was fantastic. Educator too.
And what a Latin, talk about understanding Latin music.
Yeah.
Ed was the guy.
I got my feet working.
Yeah.
But another big thing with music, when I really started to like drumming, listen to this, was when I found in the city this drum book, Carmine Apiece. I took this cassette tape with me home, popped it in, and I heard something I'd never heard before, And I played along with that tape so many times.
Which book was that? You remember which book?
I don't remember. It was like
Realistic
the basic rock.
or
One of the first.
Yeah. Realistic rock. Yeah, it's fantastic.
That was my biggest mentor. That thing.
Fantastic. So you studied yourself. You kept on putting your time into it.
Yeah.
When did it start happening where all of a sudden you started playing professionally? Where'd that come
When I was 14.
Oh, interesting.
I got my first gig, and since then I made money. From 14 on, I actually made a living with music.
So we're playing in all different types of bands?
Oh, I played with it. That was an accordion player and a saxophone player. My first gig was at was a mental institution or something.
A mental institution.
Yeah.
Beautiful
and
first job.
Everyone got an instrument. Everyone got a shaker, and nobody kept time. And I remember the accordion player screaming over, "Just keep playing, keep playing."
So it's safe to say some of the experiences that you got at an early age. Were you playing popular music? Were you playing?
I played anything.
whatever.
A lot of classical music because that's what Sweden,
Yeah.
offers.
Yeah.
Play timpani and yeah.
So you had an array of all different percussion instruments.
Yeah.
So what happened now? So you're out of Berklee.
Yeah. And I see all these guys.
Phenomenal players.
Remember Marko Djordjevic,
Oh.
16 years old. I was 21 when I got to
I just
Berklee.
spoke to him. He's still out playing great.
Oh yeah, I saw him at the NAMM. He's still fantastic. But he sounded the same when he was 16.
Yeah, phenomenal.
I was just so blown away how a 16-year-old,
Yeah.
That was one thing where I'm like, okay, I better get my stuff together.
So you realized that by hearing different people, you had to up the game, so to speak.
Oh yeah, and then we had Abe Laboriel Jr. there.
Yeah.
That was my big favorite drummer.
Yeah.
Little John Roberts was there too.
Nice.
These two really.
Well, he's had some great players. I mean, even Abe Laboriel Jr., of course, his father, Abe Laboriel Sr., who we've interviewed here, is the history of that family is fantastic.
Yeah.
And Abe Jr. is out with Paul McCartney for
I
many,
know.
many years,
Yeah.
playing and singing and doing his thing. So you really had some deep influences at the school.
Of course, Berklee was fantastic.
Yeah. So did you, audition for other bands at that point to try to continue your time out of Berklee?
Well, we started to get work everywhere. That's how I met the Delcourt brothers that are doing the Britney now. I did an audition, got the gig. We went to Vegas for 1 month, backing up a singer, Christine Shelton.
Right.
That's how I started. I played with Eric Essex, a fusion guitar player.
Right.
So I started to play a lot, yes.
So you're playing all different types of music.
All the music.
And this encompassed reading, so you had to really kind of work, different skills together.
Yeah, I mean, I learned how to read, and I played every style there is, actually. Not speed metal.
Right.
My double bass drum chops are not good enough.
Right. Well, I'm sure you could if you put your mind to it, for sure.
Yeah, it's only a
Absolutely.
mindset, actually.
Absolutely, for sure. So you play now. So you met the brothers and you started playing with them.
Yeah.
And how did that lead to Britney?
Well, we toured all over the place, and I went to CalArts. I got a scholarship there. I got a free ride. So I did my master's degree. The thing was always to stay in the country.
Right.
As a foreigner, to stay. After 8 years, I got thrown out of the country. I couldn't, I didn't have a green card.
So you needed to get a green card?
You have to, there's a big thing, yeah. So I went home to Sweden, and that's when I created my Conrytmo, my drum group. Because of all the experience, I play vibraphone too. That was my main instrument at CalArts. So I just put everything together, and the American thinking of everything has to be big.
Yeah. And you did that in Sweden.
That's when I started that. Yeah.
Tell me about Conrytmo, because that I've seen some video of it, and it's absolutely fantastic for anyone to go and research it and just Google this. It's unbelievable.
Thank you.
Yeah, really. How'd you put that all together? How'd you do it?
The crazy mind of a drummer.
Yeah.
There are no limitations. We did a gig, and I saved the money to build some. Like at the farm, we were always building things. And so I got that from there. And we built the biggest bass drum in the world. I can flip the drummer upside down, and just evolved more and more. And we built bigger and bigger because everyone was copying us. We're like, okay, we're just gonna build it bigger and bigger.
And how many members do you have?
We were 4 guys then, always together, and
Yeah.
I was coming up with ideas, and we're still playing together.
And what kind of rehearsal schedule did you have with
We
them?
never rehearsed. We just played gigs.
You just went out and played?
Yeah, because we realized, it was always a 50-year-old guys with tie, and we're like, okay, we got to get this going. So we started to we just went bananas. And we learned, it's like theater, and drums. Everything is self-taught. We just learned how to do it, and we got very good at it.
But listen, that takes a certain level of risk, courage, and just sheer guts to go out there and just trust yourself and make it happen.
Well, if you can apply to Berklee, and that was the biggest step, actually.
Yeah.
When you've done that, everything is like.
So everything else was interesting point. So once that happened, you're playing with, you're in Sweden for this time. How'd you get back into the U.S.?
So we started to tour. We did like Formula One parties with Missy Elliott with Conrytmo. We really got it going.
Yeah.
But I wanted to launch it here. I wanted Conrytmo to go to the States.
Yeah.
It was my dream again.
Yeah.
And I knew I could get a work permit, an O1 visa, and an artist visa through that. So I applied, got my visa, started now with Conrytmo, and after a month, I got a phone call from Mark.
How fantastic.
So I got sidetracked.
So now in working with Mark, now you're doing Britney's gig, right? You're
Yeah.
doing that gig now. So how did the visa thing fine tune? Is you still
I
on
had
a
an
work,
artist visa. I can work with anyone.
so you can work with anyone now
Yeah.
for as long as you want in the States?
Yeah, 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
What happens after 3 years?
Then I can probably prolong it because it's based on Conrytmo. So I'm still doing gigs with Conrytmo too. So I'm doing everything like I'm supposed to. It's just I added this on top.
Well, this is fantastic because, you know, think about young musicians that are watching this interview and that are seeing, first of all, you had this incredible dream, this dream to want to get to America to play and be a part of an incredible opportunity here in America.
Yeah.
You know, you're in Vegas. You know, if someone has never been to Vegas, when you land in Vegas, it's completely out of your mind of what you can imagine in Vegas.
Yeah.
And between having Britney playing here and Cher is down the street, Elton John is here, Jennifer Lopez is here, the amount of acts that are here at any given time, it's just an intense musical scene. So the fact that you're here with Britney in Vegas this is an ultimate, you've achieved this dream that you wanted.
Yeah,
You've achieved this dream. I mean, think about the power of achieving that dream. So Conrytmo, if you can take that to the next level.
Yeah, I want to,
Of
you know,
doing
maybe
more-
I can build some new instrument. I have some,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, there might even be some opportunity to contact some of the drum companies
I would love to.
see if they can assist you in getting some of these ideas out.
Yeah.
And if Conrytmo could be the vehicle that can showcase these instruments,
Yeah.
that corporations and
That's
other...
actually a good idea.
This could be really huge. Let's talk about the business side. They watch this here, now you got to schedule your touring, how do you map out the business side of what you're doing to keep the scheduling of what Britney's doing, what Conrytmo's doing? How do you balance all of that within your life? A lot of the young kids, they get intimidated when they see someone of your caliber who's playing and touring the way you are. How do you balance it all?
You get very good at organizing. You get very good at, you know yourself, you have
Yeah.
a busy life.
Yeah,
After
yeah.
a while, you just get good at it. I don't think I have a very hectic life. I feel like I'm doing everything over internet. Nowadays, it's so easy, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't have YouTube when I was a kid at the farm. You know, I could have been much quicker up. Nowadays, the kids, they know, you know, they can check out stickings of Steve Gadd. They can check out everything.
Yeah.
We couldn't.
It's amazing what we have now with the internet.
Yeah,
With
so actually everything is just so much more convenient and easier.
yeah.
So time is I'm running Conrytmo all over the world. I'm sitting here and it's okay.
Yeah.
The time difference, but you got to organize.
So you're an organized person. You map this plan out of
I
what
cannot
you're
say
doing.
I am, but I
Really?
became.
You became an organized
Yeah.
person. That's an important line because, as myself, I had learned as my career began to grow.
Yeah.
I had to get my act together.
I don't really like it, but I realized I'm good at it.
So it's a necessary evil. so to
Yeah,
speak,
it just
right?
comes with the territory. You
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to learn how to. Otherwise, you're not going to be on time, and that doesn't work in this business. You got to be on time.
Yeah.
You got to do your homework. Something that I cannot stretch enough.
Yeah.
You got to do your homework.
So preparation when you got the tunes for Britney's gig, and here you are now.
I was in Venice.
Yeah.
I couldn't even play drums there. So I took my Roland digital drum set out in the garage, and I just sat there 8 hours a day. You just got to get that in. I was not on the level either. I knew I had to get back up on the level. We were playing with Conrytmo. It's much more theater, and I needed to get my chops up. I needed to just lift it back up. In this country, you got to be on top of stuff in this country.
Were there drummers that you had admired, when you were growing up? Were there people that you looked up to
At Berklee.
at Berklee? So
That was when it really started, when I was just so amazed that these cats could just play like that.
Did they have other artists come into Berklee and playing at all?
Yeah, but actually it was that community.
Yeah.
We were 463 drummers at one time. It was a pool of, you could just pull and you went to your shed and you worked it out. And nowadays, these are all the major players in the world. And of course I checked out Steve Gadd, Jeff Porcaro, some of the old jazz drummers that were like Alvin Jones. And you have to do all that too, Buddy Rich.
Buddy Rich,
I
absolutely.
played a lot of big band. Of course, that's Sweden, that's big band.
Oh, big band in Sweden.
Yeah, that's used to be. It's
And
not-
what kind of tunes did you play with the big band? Older jazz
But I knew I
songs?
did the Buddy Rich ensemble at Berklee. So we did
interesting.
all that. I love that band.
So his book, and listen, Buddy's book, you got to really put the prepreparation in to Buddy's
Love
book.
for Sale is my favorite.
Oh, how great. That recording he did.
It's on fire, that thing.
He plays a single stroke roll in one of the films
Oh.
that is just absolutely energized and perfect how he plays
Still
it.
to this day, there's nobody like Buddy Rich.
So you take from these guys and you learn from these guys. Is there anyone that you're listening to now that you listen to musically at all that keeps you inspired?
I listen to everyone. You have to still, I love this new gospel thing.
Yeah.
Many of my favorite drummers, Aaron Spears, I like all that.
Yeah,
because it's a totally new angle. So I got that approach a little bit. Check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, to have that many drummers at Berklee, to be playing at that level, to have that level of competition, that's a very healthy scene.
Very. Competition is the healthiest thing in life.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I always say that. People are so afraid of competition.
Yeah.
That's what you have in this country. We don't really have that in Sweden because we're not here. You have competition. That's why people are so friendly, and you have to be because.
So if you want to survive, that competition really is healthy to propel you to want to learn your instrument more, to want to listen to more musicians, to want to push yourself, to maybe even competition to be better at business, to be able to organize yourself better.
Be a nice guy.
That's a great point.
Because this business is, you got to be a nice guy. Yeah. I mean, all my friends, they're all nice guys. Because who wants to tour with someone that is,
That's uncomfortable to be with. When you think about the family of what the band is, and it's kind of like you're traveling with this family, and you want to be, sociable, and you want to be respectable. So those are great qualities to understand. Those are important qualities too, because I guess that's a part of the message of what you're doing here. That you've got to be a good person. You got to be prepared for what you're doing. You've got to really work hard. I mean, you obviously have put the work into it.
And never give up.
Yeah.
Because never give up on your dreams. Look at me. I'm here with Britney. Just keep going. Many kids, they give up way. It's too easy today.
Yeah.
Everything comes so easy, and it's like, you want something, it's there for grabbing. Just go. You can get it.
How amazing.
Yeah, it is true, though. You can really.
Well, you're the best example of this when you think about what you're doing. If we had to say, in closing, if you wanted to give something to this next generation, and kids are listening, and maybe even young kids now that are maybe even at Berklee and at different music schools, and they're watching this interview and they're seeing your success and they're seeing you still continuing with your success, what would you say to them?
Don't give up.
Right.
Follow your dreams.
Right.
It's not that easy. It's not like I didn't have to work. But you gotta just stick with it,
What's that motivating force that makes you stick with it? What's your driving force? What makes you do this?
Oh, you just gotta get that one time, like I got with Carmen and Peace book. That one time when you're hooked.
Yeah.
That one time when you realize, ooh. And then, from then on, you cannot stop. You know how it is.
Absolutely. So you find the hook. That's where it's coming.
You will find it. And then realize what you're good at. That's one thing. Many people are trying to do things that they're not really that. Find your talent.
Yeah.
Everyone has a talent. You just got to find the talent. And then you stick with it.
Well, Johan, on behalf of the sessions, we thank you so much. To have you here, to see what you're doing and see how your career has grown, and to see that you really followed through with what was in your heart. Your passion, that driving force that just said, I'm going to do this, not taking no for an answer, and perseverance, as you said.
Yeah.
To never, never, never give up. You're an absolutely great example of that.
Thank you.
We thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much, Johan. Great job.